Hello, everybody. We are waiting to get a few viewers, and then we will start answering the questions. I have already collected from the comments and from the Facebook group. And then once I'm done answering those questions, you can also ask your questions in the comments below, and I will try my best to answer them during this time before 12 o'clock. Okay, so let's start one by one. First, I would like to answer the question asked by King Khan. Those who graduate at the end of 2020, will they be eligible to apply? First of all, let me put your question on. Okay, here we are. So I can see your question. So that everybody can see your question. Let me get to that page. I hope you don't repeatedly hear my voice. It's because I'm also watching the comments here. If you do, please tell me so that I remove okay. So King Khan, those who graduate at the end of 2020, can they apply for Chevening scholarship? Yes, they do. Definitely. Yes, you can apply if you graduate by the end of this year. The only thing is that you should be able to get all your paperwork done and complete your application so that you are able to uh, send your documents to the universities and get the unconditional or conditional offer from these universities. So for Chevening, you have some time until you upload all your documents. But for some of the universities, it's going to be a little bit problematic because if even if your Chevening application proceeds until the interview time, and then you cannot get if you cannot get offer from any of those universities, then this is going to be a problem for you, especially during the interview time. If they see that you are not prepared, this is going to not look very professional, so be careful of that one. But yes, definitely you can do that. Uh, Samir Samir Ali Moore, if I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your names wrong. You have asked, hello sir, I want to ask you to know what I wrote it in essay, it's correct and free from wrongs. Okay, can you hear my voice actually? If you cannot hear my voice, let me change my voice volume a little bit higher so that you are able to. I think my voice should be clear as far as I can see. Uh, uh, Samir Ali Moore, can you please rephrase your question? I didn't get it. Can you please type it again? And can you please write down if you can hear me loud and clear or not? Hello. Okay. I hope my voice is clear. So before Samir writes his question, I would like to go to other questions and let's answer them one by one. Okay. The reason why you see a question starting from number 22 because I already recorded a video of myself explaining a lot of important questions, like 21 questions. I answered them. All the questions were written in the Facebook group that where I share most of my tutorials and also explanations I provide for writing Chevening scholarship and everything. If you are not part of the Chevening group, the Chevening Facebook group, find it in the details or in the About Us section in this Chevening Scholarship YouTube channel, and like this, subscribe, and then go there, and then you will be added into the group so that you can dive into conversation with other prospective Cheveners. So here I start from question number 22. Question 22 is, I don't have 2 years of work experience. What should I do? Okay, if you don't have 2 years of experience, this is a little bit you really need to invest something in order to get experience. Let me. Okay, if you don't have 2 years of experience, first of all, you will not be eligible. Your application will be rejected at the first place when you apply for this scholarship program, unfortunately. So if you don't have 2 years of professional experience, the first thing is that even volunteer work or volunteer experience is also counted as a work experience in the Chevening Scholarship Program, which is a very good thing, and I highly encourage you to find out your like experiences, little volunteer work or activities you have had, and create a good timetable that you have worked for these like organizations or community work or volunteer work at your university anywhere, and then inside that specific time frame put it into the like a CV type thing, and then say, okay, I have been working from this time to this time. That counts. But if you think it doesn't account for 2 years of work experience, then I strongly believe that the only option you have to do is prepare yourself for next year. So next year, apply better and stronger, having enough work experience. You can maybe find a job or something at a place that you want to work in the future based on your field of study and what you want to accomplish in the future. And at the same time, you can do one more thing. You can start to get involved with volunteer work in your country, in your city, doing online work, volunteer work, or physical work. This is also going to count toward your working experience, and I think it helps you to create, a better profile for yourself, not just for the work experience, but for everything that you want to do for your future. I just want to write a comment here. Okay, once again, if you cannot hear me, please type in the comments section whether you can hear me or not. I hope you can. Okay, so let's get back to the second question. The second question is, not the second actually, the 23rd question. It's a question also asked in the YouTube channel in the comments. I had my first degree from a polytechnic in my country, Nigeria. So instead of BSc, I have OND and HND degrees in computer science. CGPA of 3. I don't know, is it 3 out of 4 or 5? Is it what kind of, I probably think it's 5, but I'm not sure. I hope you share it with us and write it in the comments. With 6 years of work experience in one of the most prestigious banks in Nigeria. My question is this: can I be able to get admission into schools in the UK for master's degree program in finance? Yeah, the question for this person is yes, you can definitely apply, because HND, as far as I know, it is recognized in the UK from a very long time ago. I think 100 years or something. So it is recognized. I don't know about OND, but HND, as far as I know, it is recognized, and you can apply to any of the universities you want. Question 24 is, my school university has to send my transcript to Chevening, or do I send them myself? Actually, when you send your application to universities, I highly encourage you to do most of the work yourself. Never expect like others to do things for you, because that's going to have a very bad impact on you. First of all, you are waiting for other people doing things for you, which is not going to maybe they don't pay attention to timing, they don't know how to or where to send those specific documents, whether it's 1, 2 or more. Therefore, I highly recommend you to always try to do your work, even if it's like sending your transcript, sending your recommendation letter, because if you go through a Chevening application, you have the chance, you have the option to submit your your recommendations to references, or references, recommendation, whatever you call it, yourself, or you can choose the references to do it for you. Because if you choose the references to do it, your boss, your professor, they have their own life, they have to take care of hundreds of other things. That's why I highly recommend you to to do it yourself, to ask them to give you recommendation letter, print it in official letterhead of that company or that institute or university, and then you scan it and upload it there. The good thing is you have the hard and the soft copy, so that in the future, when you apply, when you come into the UK, the university might require you to submit them the original hard copy of that letter, recommendation letter or reference letter. But if you ask from one of your professors, like I asked in my first year, and my professor just submitted it online, and she just sent me a scanned copy of that reference letter. I didn't have the original signed reference letter in my hand and I still don't have it. This is not good. So I highly recommend you to do it yourself and submit all the documents yourself. Okay, and Samir Ali Moore, I'll also have the questions to answer in case if there's no questions below. What I do is that I go directly to the list of questions I have so that we take full advantage of time, and if there's any more questions we just read the questions and answer them. So I have a new question from Ali Moore. How can I be sure that my writings, for example leadership, etc., are correct? Yeah, of course, that's why I have very long tutorials. I have like 8 hours of tutorials explaining step by step how to write your first essay for leadership and influence, second essay on networking, third essay on university choices or courses, and fourth on career plan or your future plan or post-study plan. So first of all, I very much emphasize on going and watching those movies, and I emphasize to go to other people. I don't want you to stick to only the YouTube channel I have. Go and do your research, watch as many videos as you want. So the only thing I recommend, and I do still recommend, why I normally make longer videos is because I have seen a lot of short videos, people or Cheveners, Chevening alumni students, they have prepared 10 to 15 minutes to 20 minutes of videos. I did it in the beginning, but still I found that it didn't help a lot of people. A lot of people were sending me their drafts and I was seeing there's a lot of problem. So then a lot of people requested me to give them full mentorship, and I thought it's difficult because there are so many requests. That's why I made a very long tutorial, like 8 hours, explaining step by step. First of all, Ali Moore, I strongly encourage you to first do what? First, go on and what you need to do is to watch the movies, pause it, write your own experience, all these 4 essays. And once it's completed, try to find your other people, your friends who are more like mature, who know more of these academic issues, and ask them to read your paper, review it, and make sure they provide you with honest answers. Some friends might tell you, well, this is very beautiful, you have a very good career plan and you have a very good future, but that doesn't help you, because you are my friend and I tell you some good words just to make you happy. Unfortunately, that's not good. So try to find some people like your professors, people who are good writers or good readers, so that they read your essays and they make sure that first of all there are no grammatical errors, there's no spelling problem, there is sentences are very short, sentences are coherent, they relate to one another. If you see overall all these four essays, they are one person. So if you write 4 essays and none of the essays are connected to one another, if I am the reader, if you are the reader in Chevening Secretariat, and you think 4 essays that talks about 4 different things and you don't have any idea, that means your essay is not correct. Even if you have the best spelling, best grammar, a very, I don't know, persuasive or any kind of paper you have. And the other thing is, what I can encourage you to do, Ali Moore, is to find other Cheveners in your community, in your country, get connected with them, and you can always, ask each other to help you out how to write your papers. I highly encourage you, those Cheveners who are applying at the same time, to not share their essays with one another, because you might get the same idea and you don't know whose paper is good. That might result in both of you not having a good paper. And other problem is that if you plagiarize, copy paste each other's and then submit it, it's not good for both of you. That's why it's good, you don't have to stick to Cheveners. you can submit it to other people like your professors, and they can definitely help you. Good morning, Chiamaka. I'm sorry. Please, can I know what is required to show in each essay? I think I have wrote everything in the Chevening tutor and the essay writing tutorials. I highly encourage you to please go and watch them. I can my internet is not so good. That's why if I go and find and share the link here, it's going to be slow, and there it's going to make a delay in my voice. I'm going to put the link of all those tutorials at the end of this live stream, and you can go and watch them. What's my YouTube channel? This is my YouTube channel. It's Chevening Scholarship Help. I hope you have subscribed to this. Please find it and you can see me there. M and H, my GPA percentage is 69%. I think my GPA is low. Does there is any chance for me? I have problem with applying to university. Could you please explain it? M and H, I don't know your complete name as I cannot see it here. Chevening Scholarship does not have any requirement for you to have like A's or B's in your transcript, or be have honors or merits, be graduated with honors or merits. But it is of course a positive point. So I always see the problem with the universities, not with the Chevening Scholarship Program. Anybody watching this video now or later, I highly encourage you, even if you are graduated with very poor GPA or grades during your school or your university, never mind, never stay still or give up that okay, I have because I have bad grades, I don't want to apply. Grades are grades, it never tells us who we are. I have had good grades during my university degree in most of the subjects, but in some subjects that I still don't know it doesn't add anything to my knowledge. I have A. So what's the point of having A in those subjects? Actually, I have a couple of subjects that they are B's, and I don't know C's, but B's, not A's normally. But believe me, I have learned a lot from those classes that I got B instead of those classes I had C's. So, and I love those B's because whenever I see the B's in my transcript compared to the A's, I remember my professor, my classmates, the time, the semester, was it the winter, fall, not because I got B, but because I learned a lot from those classes. And I think that is valued everywhere, in every country, even in the Chevening Scholarship Program. So don't worry, just apply to the universities. You cannot apply to very famous universities which has very high number of applicants and very low number of admissions. That's why I highly recommend you to apply to other universities that does not have many applicants. Don't go to Cambridge or Oxford or London School of Economics. There are many other universities. Go do a search for the UK university rankings for 2020 to 2021 to 3. Of course, they are not yet here, but you can just do a ranking. And then by finding I highly encourage you to go to universities that are ranked over 30 or over 50. Nobody will, judge you once you get your master's degree that, okay, you studied in a university that's ranked low. I'm still studying, like I'm still a student at the Aberdeen University in Scotland, in the UK. So maybe some people, it's not the first university, it's not in the top 10 overall university in the UK. I think it's in top 20. But I like it and it's good. The reason why I like it is because it's a very good university, and but in law it's very famous. I think it's 4th university in law in Scotland. So other universities will definitely provide you with an unconditional offer, so never give up and try. Okay. M and H said that you have problem applying to universities. Please explain it. I have a video. It's for 1 hour. I explain step by step how to apply to universities. Please go watch it, and I will also put the link here. Patrick Hammond, I'm sorry if I read your name wrong. Hi, sir. Please, would you advise that I apply for other scholarships aside Chevening? Patrick Hammond and everybody, please apply to as many scholarships as you want. I'm telling you, there is DAD scholarship in Germany. There is Fulbright scholarship in the US. There's Erasmus Plus scholarship in Europe. There is Schwartz. I will put the name of them at the end in this YouTube link. Yeah, there are many scholarships. Apply to as many as you want and never take granted. Actually, I have the same year, I'm telling my experience, I applied to 3 different I was accepted to 3 different scholarships at the same year: Chevening, Fulbright, and that scholarship. And then because DAD and Chevening were the same time at the same semester, so I choose Chevening. And for Fulbright, I am also a registered student to go to Fulbright. This year, I was supposed to go, and our classes are supposed to start. And I will go to 2 scholarships, one after another. So I am going to start my Fulbright journey very soon in the near future. And as soon as I start my classes, and as soon as the Chevening deadline is over and I know that I'm settled either in the US or maybe our classes will be online, then I will have enough time to be done with my thesis for my first master's, and then I'm starting my second master degree. Then I can work on providing tutorials on how to apply to Fulbright scholarship the same way I did for Chevening. I am not, I also applied for that other year, but now I am no more eligible for that. So I won't be, applying for that scholarship, even if it would be, even if they would accept me for the next year. So apply to as many as you can, and wish you best of luck and success. Okay, M&H says that the university wants 70 degrees. I already explained. Give them a try and apply to other universities. Samir, when I was a leader and responsible for a group of students in a training course and I was a leader for them, is this a good example of leadership? Always come leadership, if we say, if there is a specific definition of leadership, well, there might be. But for everybody, the leadership is different. You explain leadership based on your own experiences, based on your own knowledge, based on what you have done at your work, at your school, university, home, family business, work business, professional life, volunteer work, and community work. If you're a candidate to represent your people, you're in the parliament, you're in the cabinet, you're the president. Everybody has their own version of leadership, and as well as networking. So I highly recommend you to brainstorm, as I already explained in my other videos. Brainstorm, write down what did you do when you were at school, what did you do in the first like high school, I mean first year, second year, third year. What did you do during the university? You have always did something to build a network. Write it down. Brainstorm. You always have to explain some things more. You cannot say that I have a network in the photography club at my university. Nobody knows about your photography club at university. But you have to provide more explanations about that photography club in your university. Maybe, the photography club at your university had an affiliation with a very famous photographer. If you were part of, I don't know, a clinic, if you're a medicine, you're working on like a cure for a disease, and you had very famous doctors as your mentors, that's a very great thing that to put it in your paper. Or if you had been a mentor, for example, I at my undergraduate degree during the last year, besides participating in a lot of clubs and everything, I started a mentorship program with the university to mentor the freshers or the freshmen students who are just starting the university. So once a week, I was, meeting those fresh students for 2 months, trying to explain everything. This is the university, this is the library, this is how you check in books and check out books, and this is how you do your note taking as an assignment submission. This is plagiarism. This is how to log into your university portal to download your to download your notes, slides, and everything. This is leadership. This is networking. So then it depends on you how you want to show it more important for the people, and to, as well as discussing more about how impactful it was to you to learn and to the other people you helped. Patrick, if you say on the chevening obligation for that you would not look out for any other scholarship opportunity, does it disqualify you from scholarship program? Patrick, you asked if you apply for other university scholarships, and then in your application you say that you haven't been looking to other application. Does it disqualify you? No, it does not disqualify you at all. But the problem is, if you are applying to 2 scholarships at the same time, then that is going to disqualify you. For example, this year I'm studying Fulbright, like starting now in let's say in October or November. And then last year in September, I started this. So I'm going to choose scholarship one after another. It will never disqualify me. But if I would apply to both the UK and the Fulbright, which is not obviously not possible because I couldn't be in 2 places at the same time. But pretend if my other scholarship is online, or if I come to UK and in London, you study at 2 different universities, and both are scholarship, this is going to disqualify you. So don't worry. It's your right as a student, as a human being, as a person to take full advantage of these scholarships and opportunities if you have, or if you can get. MNH, I'm sorry, sometimes you have to forget about going to Dundee, going to Birmingham, going to London. I didn't study in London because I don't like crowded places. I like calm places. I went to Aberdeen. Cities are important because you will live here for 1 year, and it's important in what kind of place or city you are. So that's why I highly encourage you to think about the place. Yes, like Dundee, it's important, but because you are in a different situation because of your GPA, so I highly encourage you to apply to at least, universities are ranked over 40 or 50. Apply to 10 of them and then find which one is nearest to the Dundee, or maybe a similar place like Dundee, so that you can enjoy the rest of your studies. Upuma Anjum says, I am working as a learning facilitator in an NGO for 5 years. Can I use this experience in leadership? I think for 5 years, you didn't tell as a learning facilitator. I think this is a good experience for networking and also a leadership experiences. You're right, and you should use it. In my belief, every instructor, if you are instructing people, it's not just leading that you be a manager to lead the people, or you to be a political leader to lead the people. In my belief, all people like professors, teachers, instructors, or even if you're facilitating this learning, you are qualified, or you have this leading experience, because you know how to deal with people. You need to learn the skills, because if you have like 10 students, 100 students, or 1,000, you are learning from them. It's not about the action you have done, it's about the experience that you have gained from this. And don't forget to add it both in leadership experience and also networking, because you should have built a network for the people who have been learning in that NGO or whatever it has been. Chiamaka, yes, must achiever leave the UK after the study? First of all, if you are studying in the UK, you will have visas for not for 1 year. The visa will be for 1.5 years. So, and people who are coming in the future, I think they are going to have even more, like maybe 1 year and 8 months. I personally have 1 year and 6 months visa. So I still have visa until January 2021. I can legally stay in this country. I can work full time. I can like yeah. I don't have any problem with that. I can I can live like just like a real citizen, like the UK citizens here, and I don't have any problem. This is the first thing that you can do even when your studies are completed. You are supposed to leave for 2 years and work in your country to bring this experience back to your homeland. But if you find any opportunities to get a full-time job, and then the new your employer has the possibility to sponsor you a visa so that you work at their place, then definitely you can do it. It's possible. It's not like a no. There's a slight possibility, but I think you will know it more once you live in the UK. Then you will learn all the ways, the legal ways, how you can stay. There is, of course, always a illegal way, but I never encourage that. Luciana, hello, nice to hear you. I am post-graduated. Can I apply for this scholarship? Hi, Lucia. Actually, yes, you can apply. I have seen people who had 2 master's degree and they applied for their 3rd master's degree in the UK, which, there was always a question, why don't you get a PhD if you're, following different master's degree? Yes, I highly encourage everybody. It's just not easy process for everybody. The process is same or similar for everybody, whether you're you're undergraduate, you have a PhD, you want your 2nd master's or 3rd master's. Yes, the process is the same, but all you have to do is that you have to go through a lot of paperwork. Honestly, a lot of work. If I am creating like 1-hour videos and going live for a long time, is because yes, it takes time, honestly, to do a lot of paperwork, but it's worth it. Once you do your paperwork, I encourage everybody, once you're done with your paperwork and you are in the UK, for the first 1 month you have more paperwork to do for your visa, BRP, banks, insurance, health insurance, and GP and doctor, and so many paperwork, home and settlement, accommodation, everything. But then it will be done, and then you are you're free to go. You just live like your home country, but I think in a better situation. MNH, now I completed all essays and other achieving requirements, but I don't know, should I apply to universities right now? Yes, everybody. I always recommend every prospective achievers to apply to universities. I would have applied to university even before starting the achieving application. Making before achieving application portal started it, and I think you couldn't apply to universities because most of the even some universities, they are still, the classes or semesters are not open for 2021 and 2022. Which I understand. But I highly encourage you to apply to as many universities as you can, as many universities as you want. Be careful, everybody watching this. If for those who don't know, applying to university is, it needs a lot of work too, like the Achieving Scholarship Program. You have to create an account, you have to answer so many questions, you have to fill so many forms, you have to submit similar essay questions, not separated into 4 questions, but some universities has 2 questions, some has 3, some universities want you to submit them a personal statement or a mission statement. So writing a mission statement for any of those universities is a similar work or a headache, whatever you call it, like the chevening application. You have to, write a lot of, your goals, what your accomplishment, why you would like to study at this university. And I also promised in my previous video that I am going to make another video developing personal statement for the universities, because for the university you don't have to concentrate on those important uh, things that you consider for the Chevening Scholarship Program. But for university, it's more of an academic perspective rather than a general political as well as leadership and networking thing. So it really requires you to write another statement. That's why I highly encourage you to start from now on developing both your 4 essay questions for the Chevening and also the personal statement that you need to write for the universities. Once you have a very good one for the university, one personal statement, you can use the same personal statement with a little twist and apply to different universities at the same time. And then normally it takes 15 days to 21 days, like 2 weeks to 3 weeks to get a response from the university. So yeah, it's a long time before they send you conditional or unconditional offer. That's what you have to start from now to be prepared to at least have one unconditional offer by the time you submit the Chevening application by its deadline on November. Patrick, could you please repeat the responses to my previous questions? I asked question 2 but couldn't hear the responses. Can you please copy paste, Patrick, if you hear me, can you please copy paste the question, because I cannot scroll back as my screen is jerking. Samir, I applied to the university but I didn't have language proof. When can I get conditional admission? Normally, I already explained that it takes 3 weeks, maximum 3 weeks to get a response from the university, unless you apply to universities like Cambridge, Oxford, London School of Economics. Other universities, they are responding you very soon, so don't worry. You will answer conditional or unconditional. If you haven't submitted your English, definitely you will get a conditional offer. Syed Kashif Sadat, thank you for your question. Hello, sir. What if we have done most of our work experience and voluntary activities abroad? Does it affect our application process, since Chevening need applicants whom involved in their country itself? Actually, no. Chevening, the reason why Chevening doesn't want to give a scholarship to you to study online or do research, but just go to classes, sit there, or taught program, is that you go to another country, learn something from the people, learn a different culture, see a different community, be familiar with different kind of people, religion, culture, genders, ethnicities, language, and everything. And I think having experience, whether volunteer or professional experience from another country, it's never a negative point. If you are smart enough to put it in the best way in your writing, you can put this as a positive point. You can say, well, I don't have a normal volunteer working experience like the rest of the Chevening applicants in my country. I am better than them. Why? Because you have the experience of working abroad and you have learned a lot of things and have been involved in so many projects that they are not available in your country. So your plan is that I learned a lot from country X. Now I want to go to UK to gain my master's and then return back to my country A, and then I will have better plans and initiatives and activities from the country X and the UK to help my people. I hope you got my point. Writing the essay is not about how honest you are or how high technical English words you write. It is about how persuasive you can write something. It's about how you can turn all your achievements into a very positive, engaging, and a very impactful way, so that the reader sees everything and says, well, this guy, person, man or woman is excellent, to get this scholarship to be a future agent of change in their home country. Patrick, you said about other Chevening scholarships. I had the possibility to choose between three scholarships: Chevening, Fulbright, and DAD. Every scholarship has its benefits and advantages and disadvantages, which I cannot tell you which one to take. I took Chevening, and then I am now going for Fulbright, but I'm not going for DAD. Although at some point a few years ago I loved that. It's based on my age. I am older than what I look like. So if you are young, if you are in your 20s, I highly encourage you to, for example, if you apply to Erasmus Plus or DAD in European countries, I highly recommend you to take it. Not just because of the degree or the university that you study, but because of the country that you go. If you are in Europe, you see a lot of people, you see a lot of things compared to going to the UK only and to USA. Because for example, if you are in Germany, you can learn a new language, you can learn new systems, you can travel to the whole Europe and learn, I think, a little bit from everywhere, compared to going to the UK or to USA. If you go to the UK, then you will still be stuck there. You still need to get visa to come to or to go to the other European countries. And if you go to the US, then you will be stuck in the United States. So, but it doesn't mean this scholarship is good, this is bad. No, all the scholarships are equivalent. You get the same amount of money, you get the same type of visa, student visa, you get the same privileges, you get the same master's degree. It just depends on the country and yourself. As I said, if you are young, you can apply to DAD, learn something Germany, and then go to Erasmus Plus, maybe to land in, I don't know, France, Italy, learn another language, see another things. But it depends on every it's different for everybody. Patrick, if you say on the Chevening application for that you would not look out for any other scholarship opportunities, does it disqualify you from school's scholarship program if you wanted to apply? Patrick, you asked about the scholarship. There are two types of scholarships. Be careful. The question that's asked in the Chevening application is not related to any other. It is not related to the university scholarships provided. It's about the scholarships provided, international scholarships like Chevening, like Fulbright, DAD, Erasmus Plus, and others. There are so many. World Bank, Asian Development Bank scholarships. There are so many. So yes, then you can say no or yes, but you can apply to the Chevening, and then every university or most of the universities, they also have scholarship programs. I highly encourage you to apply to those scholarships as well. You know what? Most of the universities, they don't have complete scholarship to provide for your traveling, to provide for your accommodation, food, stipend, transportation, everything. Most of the universities in the UK, as far as I know, they provide tuition free, or they provide you scholarships that are only waives you a tuition. So this is a good thing for you to be able to get the Chevening scholarship. And also, for example, you would study at Aberdeen University, where I study, and Aberdeen University gave me some scholarship, tuition scholarship. So Chevening was very happy. Why? Because Chevening didn't have to pay a lot of tuition fee. Chevening had to pay only for my accommodation. I know some of my friends from my country, they got full tuition scholarship from the university that he or she applied, and Chevening only paid for him for his living costs, not for the university. That's why it's always good to apply to different scholarships, university scholarships, of course. So I would like to go on with this, a few more questions to answer, and you can write the questions there too. Okay, I have the same question here. Question 25, can I apply to multiple scholarships at the same time? I already answered yes. 26, English requirements for this year. I have to tell you, everybody, English requirement for this year, it's waived for achieving a scholarship program only, but not for the universities. For the universities, still you need to, provide them with the English test or English score or English requirement. What English test is good? There is TOEFL, IELTS, Oxford. I don't know, so many. There are 5, 6, 7. None of them are bad. They are all good. It depends on what program do you study. The most famous ones are TOEFL, IELTS, and then now both might be closed because of the pandemic. So when you apply to universities and you don't have English score, you tell the university you don't have the score, the universities will definitely share a link for the Duolingo website. Duolingo is a new platform. It was old, but this test is a new platform accepted by most of the universities so far. So 28, question 28, is Duolingo difficult? No, Duolingo exam is much more easier than TOEFL and IELTS. Believe me, everybody, you are lucky, not because the English is waived, because the English has changed to Duolingo. You can get a higher mark in Duolingo, which will land you in a better university if your English is not so good. Is Duolingo free, expensive, cheap? Duolingo is not free. If you apply to any free tests, the score will not be accepted, I'm pretty sure. Cheap or expensive? It's cheap. It's only $50 compared to IELTS that you pay 300 something, or TOEFL that you have to pay 200 and something. Number 30, how many universities should I apply? If I were you at your position, I would have applied to 20 universities. But I did only to 7 or 8 universities, and then when I got 3 unconditional offer, then I stopped applying to more. I could even apply to maybe some better universities, and then I could have changed it, but I didn't, which I regret. So I don't want you to regret. I'm telling you guys, you have the time, fill more application to different universities, apply. You get experience, you get smarter by reading a lot of questions, writing a lot of answers, and writing a personal statement for different university and everything. And it's good for you. Should I change my field in each university? When you apply to different universities, should you change your field? I highly recommend you to not change your university. Stick to one goal, stick to one major, and then apply to that only. Don't jump to different fields. For example, I used to study international commercial law. I had the choice to study trade law, commercial and economic law, and finance law, and so many things that are close to business law or commercial law, but I stick to just one thing. For every university that I was applying, I used to apply only to international commercial law only, not to any other scholarships. Okay, so if you have any more questions, I encourage you to write them down, and I will keep the time. I will try to have the time to answer them too. So we continue answering more questions from here. Should I choose different? Okay, what happens when I submit my application to the universities? I have a full tutorial on this. When you submit, but it's the first part. So the second part will be when you apply to the universities are going to provide you with a conditional or unconditional offer that's going to come to you in your email or maybe in the portal. I don't expect it before 2 weeks or 14 days, 15 days, but between 2 to 3 weeks, like 15 days to 20 to 25 days, you will get a response from the university. And then the university, if it's an unconditional offer, then you're lucky. But if it's a conditional offer, then you need to read the conditional offer completely. Maybe in my future videos, I'm going to show you my conditional offer once I got it from the university, and then unconditional offer to clarify every step. Because unconditional offer, you got to do nothing, but if you get a conditional offer, then there are some terms that you need to meet, or conditions or requirements, before you get unconditional offer. Normally that's English language, that's maybe payments, application payments, or maybe if some of your academic documents are missing, if your CV is missing, if your something is missing, or maybe a recommendation is missing, or maybe there is a requirement to send them any kind of original document, or maybe the translation you have submitted in your own language, which is not English, and then they might require you to give English. So this is what it is. Question 34, what if my university application is rejected? Will Chevening know it? So you apply to different universities, and then the Chevening application, you are worried that if I apply to so many universities and I get so many rejection letters, the Chevening Secretariat will know that I get so many rejections from so many places, and then they would kind of disqualify you from the university that you want, from the scholarship that you want to get. Actually, no. Applying to Chevening is another platform, independent, and your all data is secured there. Universities has their own policies. They are private institutions, or government might be. So they are another thing. So you don't worry. Apply to as many universities as you want. Get as much conditional or unconditional offers you can get. And then once you have like a table full of unconditional offers from 4, 5, 6 universities, do your research. If you have time, you can change it in the application portal, in the Chevening portal. And if you don't have time, just once you are admitted, or your interview is set, during the interview, print all your unconditional offers, go to the interview with full hands and say, okay, I got unconditional offer from like Cambridge University, and I want to change my first choice to this one, and first choice to second, and the way you want it. University applications are not open for September 2021. What should I do? Yes, we all know that some universities, they are not open, but try to check all the requirements for 2020 to 2021. You can you can email the universities, you can check the requirements, even you can actually apply to 2020 and 2021. Pretend you apply for this year to start your classes. I know the time is late, but let's say because this year the academic year starts 1 month later. So if you apply for this year 2020 and 2021 and you get accepted, you can defer your application for next year. That's actually what I did, because I applied for Chevening scholarship for 2 years, and then in my first year I was in the reserve list, and in the second year I won the scholarship, and I deferred my school paper from first year to the second year. That is actually what you can do, and I recommend that actually. Question 36. Okay, we have more questions. UK has no public foreign policy known to me in my country. What should I do? Because yeah, maybe UK does not have an office in your country or nothing. This was also a question asked by one person. I don't know which country it was. So yeah, it's difficult to talk about such a country that is not in the that's not in your country. There's no policies and how you want to put it, or how should you put it. I know it's problematic, but try to find something that is similar to the for UK's foreign policy in your country. UK always works, UK aid, for example, like USAID. UK aid works for community development, economic development, security or peace development, education development. So these are very general. Try to find maybe the UK's policy into the closest country near you, your neighboring countries, and see, okay, UK is doing similar projects, so that's what you are doing. And then talk about it, how you can relate these kind of achievements to the UK's achievement, UK's policies in your country, and what you can do in some places so that you can, connect the countries together for doing, building relations for better. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a break for 5 minutes. I've been talking for 1 hour. I need a break. You also need a break, and we will see back in 5 minutes. If you have any questions, I encourage you to write your question for me, and I will be able to answer it if time allows. Hello. I hope everybody can hear me. Okay, welcome back. And let me get a couple of questions that are written here. Chiamak, yes, I will share the link very soon. I just completed the uni, but my work experience won't be 2 years, and if I had my 1 year national service Ghana, I will hit the 2 years. Will Chevening reject this as I am not complete? I've not completed the service. Yeah, you don't have to have completed something. At least you have worked for some time, whether it is a national service or anything that it might be, as long as it falls into the category of a professional work. That's why I highly encourage you to go for it and accept it, insert it in your application, and it will definitely be accepted, so you don't have to worry about it. Because if it makes your experience 2 years and then makes you eligible, then why should you lose this opportunity? Proud K, hi, in the interview, if candidates change their first choice for university to the second, third, or another, not included in application, does it decrease the chance of receiving the scholarship? Thank you. Actually, interview is another process which I think and I like it very much compared to the paperwork or your actual what do you call documents that you submit. The reason is because in the interview you can talk face to face to everybody, like why we are having these live session today in here. The main reason for this live session is to get to the core of what we want to learn, what we want to know, what we want to ask and answer, compared to just making a video clip of us, me talking, and then there's like a one-sided communication. The interview is the great thing, and changing a university during the interview does not affect your application at all. It puts you in a better position, because and there should be only in a good situations most of the time. For example, you have like your first choice, you have an unconditional offer, but you want to change your first choice because you got an admission from a better university, from a higher ranked university. So why would it matter? Like I had 3 universities, and then one of the universities only sent me an unconditional offer, and then it didn't change it to conditional offer. Sorry, a conditional offer didn't change it to unconditional offer. So what I did during the interview, I said, don't worry, I want to remove it was my second choice. I want to remove my second choice, this university, and I have this new university. Why? Because this new university, it's better. I didn't tell them that I didn't get an unconditional offer from them. I said this university is better, and I want to put it in my application so that in case if I am not accepted, if Chevening doesn't allow me to study at my first university, then I have the choice, the chance to choose my second university at the university that I want. So it is not a problem, and I highly encourage you to go for it. Ahmad? Yes, you are right. It does affect you to write in your application, about a regional effect, regional leadership experience to a national to an international experience. it does affect, and that's one of the reasons that sometimes you don't get shortlisted. I always tell the applicants that don't be discouraged at all if you are not accepted. And the reason is, if you're not accepted, the reason is not because you are bad, you are good, but the reason you're not accepted is because other applicants are stronger than you. You have experience, but you have a national level, and then some other people, they have international experience. Then think about everything. That's why they can, they can put themselves in a better position compared to you. So that's the only reason sometimes you get rejected. Yeah, because others has better experience. Well, I don't tell you that if you don't have Ahmad, if you don't have a better experience, you don't have the chance. Well, you have the chance, but it's different country to country. Because, for example, like in some countries, they have a very high number of seats, maybe 50, 100 seats. I don't think 100, but let's say 50, because I know there are some countries that have 50 compared to my country that there are only 14 seats available. So if there are 50 seats available, then you have more chance that there is a variety of people with different backgrounds. But pretend if you have only 3 seats available in your country, then having a very small organizational experience is not enough, because I am pretty sure that in your country there are other people that they have huge amount of experiences at the national level, and then they can get the position. And that's what you should be encouraged to do and to work on, so that you get involved in higher and better positions to to be eligible and to win for next year's. So we continue with this, and number 37, I don't have volunteer work experience. Is it necessary? Well, it is. Obviously, it is. Volunteer work and social community work. The reason why it's important is because this program, this scholarship, is not for you to build yourself. For example, you are a good designer, and then you be a good designer for yourself to build, I don't know, if it's a house, it's a clothing, it's anything. You just do something personally for yourself. If you are involved in volunteer work and activities, it shows that you are involved in doing something for the community. And doing something for the community means that you are a good leader, you have network, you want to bring a change in your country in the next 2 years, because the goal is to nurture the change agents. So if you are not a change agent and you don't do anything for your country, then of course you are not going to win this. And the reason why, if you don't have it but you say that I want to do volunteer work, maybe in the interview they ask you, you are like maybe 20 something years old and you haven't done any volunteer work, but now you say, if I want to go to UK, get my master's and then come, I want to do, then you are probably not going to do it. Because if you were supposed to do, you could have done a lot of volunteer work so far, because at different stages of our life we can do different volunteer works, because as we grow older, then there are other volunteer works depending on our age that we need to do, like mentorship, coaching, teaching, and these things. So at that time you cannot do like even organizing and management and small things for school children and these kind of people. I hope you understand what I mean. So that's why it's very important that you have it prior to applying to the Chevening scholarship. 38. What if I'm not part of so many clubs, associations, or etc. during your school or during your let's say during your university or your work time, if at your place of work or something? First of all, if this is related back to the same experience I just explained to the volunteer work, it's more of not a social work, but it's more of a networking. Because if you are in clubs, you are building connections, you are learning things, you are like a team leader. Of course, in a club, you're not a leader, you are a team leader. You learn small things, And if you are not part of such clubs, then it means that you are lacking a very important skill that Chevening looks for, like networking and also leadership. So if you are not, I mean, even for those of you who have not submitted your application, who are not in any kind of groups or clubs, you know, you have 1 month, you have like 1.5 months almost to go and get involved in a club, get involved in 2-3 clubs. This is part of your work. If you give 2 hours per week, that's enough. You know, if you give 1 hour per week on weekends, go do something. If it's you know, helping the poor people, if building if you know, fundraising for your community, if it is you know, being in a school, helping the student who has mathematical problems, helping the disabled people because of the pandemic, you're delivering food for the people, you know, if we want to do something, honestly, there is a lot to do. I have a social organization in my country. I have a list of things, hundreds of things that we cannot do, which we are thinking and wishing one day we would be able to, you know, work in all these fields. All of us who are applying for Chevening, I'm pretty sure that there is a lot to do in our country, volunteer, and so try to get in those kind of clubs, associations, organizations, whatever, get involved, do something. And then when you write your paper, you don't have to say that I just started 1 week ago working for the UNICEF, working for Help the Children, you know, Save the Children, whatever. Just say I am working for Save the Children as a volunteer work once a week. Or you don't have to say 1 hour a week. You can just say I'm working there. And then by the time you get into the interview, you shouldn't, you know, don't try to work against the system to just say, okay, I want to, you know, one up the system and just want to do. Honestly, we are human beings. We should be honest with ourselves, with our people, and with our community. And we should be honest to Chevening Scholarship Program and Secretariat as well. That's what I love. That's what I want to support if they're, you know, watching me. So I want to encourage you to do something for your people and community. And interview is going to be in March. So pretend if you start now, September, October, November, December, January, and then 3 other months. So for 8 months, by the time of interview, you are doing something for your people for free. It's for free for you, but you know, you bring a change in your community, and that is all we are supposed to do. We don't have to wait for Chevening and Fulbright to tell us to go to do volunteer work to help our people, to give us a bonus, a scholarship. We have to do this ourselves. And this is something you can do. So in 8 months, when you sit in the interview panel, you have already worked enough for this 1, 2, 3 social organization, mood clubs, community organizations, Save the Children, anything like that. And what? You know, if they ask you any question, what do you do to Save the Children? What have you done for your community? What are you currently busy? They don't ask you very deep questions. When did you started to work at the Save Children? They might ask you, but you know, you have to be smart enough to gain enough experience and also really do something for your people. If you are honest to the people, you will be honest in the panel, and honestly, you will get it. So I will dive into more comments in the YouTube link, and then we go to the other question. Musa Saleh asks differences between studying essay introduction and career plan essay introduction. Musa Saleh, I have 8 hours. 8 hours. You know, it took me several days to record them, of explaining step by step how to write every essay. So I cannot do it now for the sake of, you know, not taking the time of other people watching this stream. But I tell you very, you know, shortly, Musa, difference between studying essay is that you write what do you want to study in the UK. Career plan, what do you want to be in the future? Studying. And then, okay, 2 other ones. We have also networking. What kind of networks do you have? Network with the people in associations, with your school, university, community, professional work, anything. And also leadership and influence essay, where you talk about your skills that you have in leadership, in management, in influence, and also in other things. So these 4 essays, I will write the copy paste the comment, the link in the comments below or in the descriptions. Please go to my channel. You can see all these 8 videos, 8 hours of videos, and they are going to help you. Even if you don't know nothing, they are going to help you out to write a very good essay. Ahmad, how can we know the number of seats for a country? I don't know. It's not publicly announced actually, but you can ask this from previous Cheveners who had participated from your country, or you can contact the Chevenings, the British Council in your country, or the British Embassy in your country. I don't have a proof to my essay leadership. I meet where I work and I volunteer. I didn't get your question, but if you don't have proof of your leadership, you don't have to submit anything that you are a leader. By explaining this in your paper, by explaining it in the interview, you will prove what you have done. It's just by word and speaking. Don't worry about it. Ahmad, you also explain about the generic or specific. It's always good to give at least 1 or 2 specific examples. If you don't be, specific, then it means that you have just, put some words together to show that you have done something. Give examples. For example, I worked for the Save the Children. I studied this subject. I did this. And what if you don't have IELTS and GMAT? Amr Abu Ilrish, I'm sorry if I read it wrong. You don't have to have IELTS or GMAT. For English score, you know that there is Duolingo. I already explained in the beginning of the video. The university will send a link for you and you give the test online. It's a very short English test and it's also cheap. It's only $50. For GMAT, I'm sorry, I don't have any information for now. I will share if I get any information. Nurul Haq Abdi, would you please have some talks about recommendation, letter format and content? Yes, I hope time allows us. You have to get to kind of recommendation and try to get at least 2, but around 4 recommendation letters, 2 from your professors and 2 from your professional work. 1 maybe from the where you work, or both of them, or maybe 1 from your volunteer work where you work for other organizations. The content of the recommendation letter, in the beginning it should introduce the person. For example, the person says, I am professor of law, computer science, engineering at the University of XYZ. I know Mr. X, your name. For example, I know Mr. Nurul Haq Abdi since 2015 when he started to study in my computer science club, or computer science class, or my management class, or business marketing, medicines class, anything. And since then, you should give a couple of examples, or at least 1 example of how good you are. He or she should say, I know Mr. Nurul Haq being a very intelligent student, and he should give an example. He shouldn't say he's a good student, he's a professional student. He worked with me on a research project. He worked on me on a practical project XYZ for my country, for this school, for the community, for this project. And he's very good in these subjects, and try to tell your professor that you want to study that subject, so that that professor would exactly tell you that he's good in those subjects. And as a professor, I highly recommend him to study this subject, and I recommend him to study at your university, or I recommend him to get this scholarship through the Chevening Scholarship Program, because he's excellent and he can be an agent of change for the future, and he can be a good asset for the Chevening community and the future of this country. And for the university, she can say that he can be a good asset for your university. And this is how you want to do it. The content will be just how long he knows you, what kind of practical experiences he has from you, what kind of talents you have, and why you are good to those subjects. And he say, I recommend him to stay to you, for him to be to study or to get the scholarship. Okay, Musa Saleh, you talk about the introduction of studying some subjects. Actually, I don't think it's just good to go to the universities directly, Musa. You try to go directly to try to have an introduction paragraph. At least say, I want to study these subjects because I studied it during my bachelor's degree and they are related to my field, where I used to work during these 2 years, 10 years, anything, and I want to get my master's. Just a very short paragraph, and then say my first choice is University X, write it down, and second and third. But you don't have to spend a lot of words on it. And Patrick, your example, yes, you can include informal leadership in any platform, whether formal or informal organization. Whether you even I already gave examples, like even if you are part of very small communities, like a book club in your community, don't worry, you can have that as well, because that counts as a leadership or as a networking skill, talent, and experience, and it should and it is recognized. Diana Carolina, I got graduated from uni in 2011 and haven't had another formal academic experience since that. Although I'm writing about my last 3 working years experience where I have been leading social groups. Would it be a problem? Actually, this is not a problem, but I think it's smart if you write one short sentence to talk about maybe when you are choosing the 3 universities, and also in the last essay career plan, to give a hint of why you have not been studying since 2011. And the reason is that you explain your point or your position why there is a change, there's a gap in your academic career. This is very important, and I think you will get more questions in the interview why there is a gap, and I think by explaining it, it's more easy compared to the writing it, and you can easily explain why you have this gap in your education, and it's not a problem. Ahmad, does this designation of the referee as a big effect, like head of engineering versus tech lead? Obviously, the latter can give a good content. It's difficult to explain what kind of references should you really get, but it's always good to get your a reference from the head of that department or thing, and the reason is that means that you have more connection and with the leaders, with the supervisors at the place where you used to work, compared to just talking about your direct supervisor whom you had been working under his or her supervision. So you need to expand the the network or the matrix of the organization you used to work. So we dive back to the questions we have in the list. 39, can you write me an essay? These are the questions I have been asked. I'm sorry, no, I cannot write you an essay. Everybody has to draft and write their own essays everyone has their own backgrounds, and the essays are not just like a research paper that we could assign different people to write a winning essay or an like academic paper or an article or something. And believe me, if you write your own essay, there is more chance to win the scholarship compared to asking someone else doing what you are supposed to do. Because even if you get, you know, the best essay to pass into the interview stage, during the interview stage you will fall down. And 40, can you help me by reviewing my essays? Yes, probably, but you know, the work as it's written here, as some people has written and asked me, yes, there is the word reviewing. It's not about writing, it's not about, you know, fixing grammatical errors or problems or spelling and other things. It's just about reviewing and, you know, fixing and giving advice on where to go. That's something that I have promised in my previous videos and promised to so many people that I will be doing, and I will continue and keep doing. But unfortunately, I am bombarded with a lot of essays, and each essay is at least 500 words. Think if I get 4 essays, and that's 2,000 words, and I get like 10 of them in one single day. That is a lot of work, and you know, each essay is 1 page. So if 10 persons sends me, I get 40 pages of essays to read, to give comments. I'm not supposed to just read. It's not for reading. It's for, you know, spending some time helping you guys to, you know, to get something and be able to win. It needs a lot of efforts. It needs a lot of time, which I promised I am doing, but it's a lot of work to be done at the same time when you know, continue with your whole life. So be careful of that, please. But I will try to do as much help as possible. But I think the first thing is that you need to complete your papers. You don't have to send or share a draft version that you just started writing. That's not going to help yourself, and of course definitely take my time in order to, you know, fully review it, and then you know, even take minor mistakes and problems like spelling and grammar and that thing, because that means no for me, because I obviously can't do it. And I encourage you to, you know, take all these steps, complete it, the best one, and then share it with me. Jusha, hi. Patrick, can you include informal leadership organization? Yes, we have gone through that. Okay, for example, I organize tutorials for fresh university students to pass the compulsory courses at my spare time. Yes, I think I answered that, yes. Musa Saleh, and introduction of career plan, not studying essay. I should state one problem in my country or company, isn't it? In career plan, well, you can talk about a problem that have happened in your country, definitely, and the plans that you have and you want to do. If you have watched the career plan video, then you know that I have pinpointed some of the big projects that were ongoing in my country, and some of the things that have stopped happening in the country, and some of the things that are supposed to happen in the future, which I can be part of it. So definitely an introduction. In the introduction, you should have that problem, and then by the end you should give a solution or an answer to that. Even if you don't know the answer, you don't have to give the solution. You just show how prepared you are in order to you know, do something for the solution. Patrick, on the side, some schools are tagged as partners. Will you be able to apply for other schools which are not partners but are in the UK, but offer you courses of study? Definitely, you don't have to only apply to partner unis. You can apply to any of the unis as you want, because don't, you know, tighten yourself to just those partner unis, because maybe you either don't like them, or maybe they don't offer you classes that you're looking for, which again, it's going to, you know, make your application poor, and you're not going to be able to defend your position, what you want to study and want to continue. There is no difference at all. The only difference between the partner and non-partner unis are non-partner unis might not offer a higher financial aid for you, which you don't have to worry about. Non-partner unis will might ask you for application fee to process your application before sending you off a conditional or non-conditional offer, which again, if you send them an email and explain your situation, that you are applying through a Chevening scholarship program and you are from a developing country, you don't have the means to pay them, they will definitely waive the application fee. This is it. So there is no difference at all. Nurul Haq, thank you very much too for supporting. Joshua, hello. In terms of leadership roles, does it have to be a formal leadership position? No, not at all. Leadership, it can be in anything. I have had more of a leadership position. I cannot say in an informal, but not in a professional, my professional work. It was normally in the community, doing community work. So that accounts. Musa Saleh, thank you very much for your time as well and your support. So we have 15 minutes to dive into more questions here. So can you choose me a subject or a major? I have been asked by so many to choose them a subject. What should they study in the UK? I am sorry, I am not able to choose any subject for you. I mean, who am I to choose the subject for you that you need to study for the rest of your life and do something in your country? I come from a different country, obviously very much different compared to many other countries. So the only thing that we might have similar is that being a developing country, being in a war-torn country, and a country that has a lot of problems. And then just by studying here in the UK doesn't mean that you have enough idea and knowledge about all fields that you can guide everybody what to study to have a better and a brighter future. No, that's not possible. And even if I would tell you to study something or a specific major or field or subject, it's not going to help you, first of all. And second, if it's not related to your field, then okay. And if you get rejection, then you will definitely blame me for guiding you to study a specific thing. Because in every video, I try to explain and put a disclaimer, both in written and also in speech, that whatever is you see, you read, you hear, it's just experience sharing for everyone else to learn, and it's not just something that you have to do. And can you tell me regarding the importance in future of this particular field? So some people are telling me that, okay, I'm studying this specific field, it's medicine, engineering, political science, whatever it might be. Actually, I have to say that no, I cannot tell you the importance of that field, even if it's only or unless it's my field, international commercial law. And it's the reason why I cannot guide you with your field is not because I don't want you, but because I don't know actually. And I don't want to give you an expert opinion about something that I am not expert at all. Even my own field, I've just studied masters and I'm still a student in that. It doesn't mean that I am a master and expert in international commercial law, but at least I have had a few years of experience in this field. I have been working in my country for the last like 5 years, and also studied these subjects. Love it, participated in some international and regional and national platforms, wrote a few articles, some articles, published a few articles. That is all. So that is why I can only give some opinion, not expert advice on even on my field. I leave this open to everybody. If you want to study a specific field, go on, do your research based on your country, the needs in your country, yourself, your talents, your skills, your ability, how much productive can you be, how much fruitful can you be for yourself, your country, and the region to study that particular subject. And then Diana, we have Kan I mentioned that the academy gap is because didn't have the funds to get access to a postgraduate course in Columbia. It's quite expensive, and that's why I couldn't. Yes, to Diana, I would like to say that well, I have had a similar gap like you. We were in a very similar position. I've had a gap between graduating from high school and then starting university for some years, and then yes, it popped up during the interview question, and they asked me why there's a gap between your high school and then university, but now you are graduated from university and very soon you want to apply for a master's. And I said, well, this is the right time for me. I think first of all you can say this is the right time for me because of these factors, and then you explain those factors. The factors can be economy, war in the country, political instability, or yourself, having a sickness, a disease, or a problem, financial issues, health issues, or security, any other thing. So as long as you have a very good and convincing answer to that, I don't think it's a problem. So it will never reduce the chances of you there's a gap in your academic field, because I have gone through the same process and I have been successful for that. RT, for me, it's very hard to find university. Many of the good UK universities require masters. How shall I select university that provides me an offer letter because I have bachelor's degree only? Well, a lot of people have this problem, especially very least developed countries and developing countries, even like mine. Some of the universities do reject applicants from my country because they say that your bachelor's degree is not equivalent to 2.1 honors in the UK, or let's put it in simple words, your bachelor degree is not equivalent to the bachelor degree in the UK, so that you would pursue master's degree. So you have to have a master's degree in order to get a master's degree in the UK, which in some way I would say it is unfortunately a discrimination to our education systems in our countries. But what can we do about it? Nothing. Maybe they are right to some level, and of course they are wrong to much other levels as well. So the only thing you can do is try to go to those universities that has higher level of admission rate, because most of the famous and big universities, they have very low admission rates, like 11% or 9% or 7%. Admission rates, I mean that like 1,000 people applies and only they accept 7% of them. But there are some other universities that they have very little applicants, or people looking to study there, and they have a higher level of acceptance rate, which probably you won't find many of them in London. You will find most of them in Scotland or Wales. You can also find it in England, definitely, but not exactly in London, which I highly encourage you to apply to them. So if you go to university ranking and apply to those universities that are ranked over 50, probably you have more chances to get admission in those universities. And if you have work experience, try to explain to those universities that even if even if I don't have a master's degree, I have like 4 years, 5 years of work experience in that specific field. So studying a master's degree is like a piece of cake for you in that specific field. That's going to help you. I'm pretty sure that it is going to help you, and of course it should help you a lot. So but yeah, that's something that you can try. David Amos, please, can I apply as a fresh graduate with 3 years of work experience? Yes, definitely you can do it. I had more of my working experience prior to my undergraduate graduation. Actually, during my undergraduate degree, I have been working, and most of those educational work experiences counted. Patrick, thank you so much for your help. However, some of us want to contact you privately. Can you leave us a means, as we want to expand our networking opportunity? Definitely, you can connect with me in LinkedIn, you can connect with me in Facebook, you can connect with me in medium.com, where I write articles normally, and you can read what I write. A lot of people wants to connect with me directly, asking questions, asking me to review or write them essays, which is difficult for me, unfortunately. But yeah, let's be connected. You're always welcome to contact me through Facebook and YouTube. Atabung Begangacha. Sir, is a diploma an equivalent to an undergraduate degree, and can it qualify me applying for the Chevening Scholarship? I don't know about the diploma description in your country, but normally you are qualified to have HND or higher education if you have studied 4 years after your high school in a university or college. 4 years is normally equivalent to a university degree or undergraduate degree, which is equivalent to a 2.1 honors degree, can be 2.1, and you're allowed to work to get master's degree in the UK. Diana, how can we find you on social media? I will let me see. Okay, I put it here. So I put these communication means here so that you are able to connect with me. And this is the channel. I highly encourage everybody to please like and subscribe and share the videos, so that you let me know how many people are this helping, so that should I continue helping more people, or should I just stop it? And okay, I will share. Okay, Musa, I have 3 conditional offers. How can I differ them? Okay, how you differ your conditional offers from each university? You go to you email their registrar's office or anything if you cannot find the differ online, or go to their website. There you can find the form differ application or differ offer. If you don't have it, email them and ask them kindly to share you the form for differing your degree. And when they share your form, you can just fill it that you differ it for the next year, you sign it, and then you scan it and send it back to the university. It's very easy. You can do it. David Amos, thank you, but my work experience does not relate with my degree. Hope it's not a problem. It's good that your work is related to your degree that you are pursuing, or to the degree that you have studied. But if it's not 100% the same, don't worry. At least try to find a way to twist your degree and maybe share the similarities yourself. Even if it's not similar, you find some points that are similar and say, well, this is related to my field. But it's not definitely a big problem. Musa Saleh, I cannot send you my email for now, but I will definitely respond to you through social media. I cannot share my email because I'm afraid of all these spams coming. How's Flava show? I have a 2.1 degree class on my undergraduate. What skill should I use on the application portal? 2.1 degree class on my undergraduate. This is this is just undergraduate. You are undergraduate. This is it. I don't think there's more options, because in Chevening you have just two options: graduate, undergraduate. Just choose undergraduate and off you go. Good. You're most welcome, David Amos. I'm just seeing if we get more questions, then that's good. If we don't have questions in the next, let's say in the next 5 minutes, we are going to end this live stream. Nurul Haq, I'm from Afghanistan. I have a 3 years bachelor degree from India, and am I eligible to apply? Indians can apply with 3 years bachelor degree to Chevening. I'm pretty sure you can apply, Nurul Haq. I have seen problems with a lot of students who came from India, Afghans, and also you have Dunya University in Kabul, which also offers bachelor degree for three years. Sometimes there is a problem with that. So, but I highly encourage you to apply to the universities, and you don't have to talk about 3 years degree. But in case if you see that they request you to submit them more evidences, you can submit your work experience as an extra year, like the 4th year. But for now, as long as as Indians can apply, you should be able to apply as well. RT asks, do you have to return immediately after 1 year of masters in the UK? Technically, you are supposed to return back to your home country as soon as you are done with your classes. Not as soon as you are done, because I'm done with my classes, but I'm going to stay here until January 2021 because I have visa and I have the legal rights to stay in this country. I love to stay, but the problem is my stipend will stop in September. So after September, I have to cover my own expenses. Chevening won't pay me any money if I'm staying here for the next October, November, December, January, 3-4 months. I have to, cover my own expenses, and this is not covered. So you are supposed to, what you are supposed to do is you are supposed to save enough for this time, that when you are not here, when you are done with your classes and the stipend is over, so you have enough financial independence. RT asks to share some do's and don'ts while writing the essay, especially don'ts. I have recorded 8 hours of video explaining step by step how to write your essays. Please watch them. It's going to help you to write a very, very, very good essays for Chevening application. Still, I'm going to share some tips and tricks. Yes, definitely. Ahmad Ma'er, what does it mean to defer your conditional offers? Defer means that you have applied to study, for example, for this year, 2020-2021, you want to defer it. Defer means that you want to delay it for 1 year. You do some paperwork with your university, and you study. You don't have to apply to the same university again. All your papers will differ for the next year, and the next year you are a registered student in that particular university. Okay, so we are supposed to end this very soon. If there are no more questions, we are going to call it a day. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your time. I hope this was enjoyable. It was informative. You have learned some things and it helped you in your life, and it could end up to you land in the Chevening Scholarship Program. I wish you best of luck and success with your application. You have any more questions, you can feel free to add them in the comments and in the groups that we have to help each other out. I will definitely take some time to answer them, and even if we not, I think the community is building every day up to help each other. This is also going to help each other, and yeah, here we go. Once we are done with all these deadlines and everything, I think we can keep this network in community. It's going to help us to be connected for this year and next year, so that we can help even the future years. And those of you who win, I hope all of you who win this opportunity, so that in the future you would do the same thing to help the future generation of scholarship searchers. Have a good day and good luck with your application. صدق هستن.